Hello, baseball fans. King Ikeboo coming to you live from the underground bunker overlooking Fenway Park today in Boston, where King Ikeboo has declared the Mad Tournament afoot, open. He has called all these teams into his court to amuse him, even though some of them have died, like from teams from the early 1900s. But today we're not going back that far. We're going back to 1990s. The American League East. They will be the first to participate in the Mad Tournament. That's where we're going to start. We're going to start right from 1990. We're going to look at this tournament. We're just going to do the American League East to start. Now you might be saying, how are you going to handle the American League East? Because halfway, 1994, not quite halfway through the season, they adjusted. They changed all of the format, the divisional alignments. How are you going to handle that? Well, like any old-time king would, ignore them. Ignore them. There's no American League Central in my world. No, we're keeping the alignments exactly the way they were at the beginning of the decade of the 90s. So if a team was in the American League East, they will stay in the American League East. The Cleveland Indians will not move to a Central Division. They will stay in the American League Eastern Division. And this makes for some changes. For instance, that team, you remember that team, that 1997 team that got to the World Series, Game 7, extra innings and lost, of the Cleveland Indians? Well, they're not even participating in our tournament. They're not good enough for our best of all time, best of the 1990s American League East tournament. They're not even good enough. In real life, they would have finished third in the division, behind two other teams. They would not be in the tournament at all. So we're going to look at we're going to do the first of all, the 3 play-in tournaments. These, if you missed our videos, and I should have learned, I'm not going to pronounce it because I can't pronounce it correctly, but there's 3 of the 10 American League East races that are going to be challenged, because the first place team did not also have the best record in run differential. We'll keep it as that. Run differential. The Toronto, for example, in 1990, the Boston Red Sox won the American League East. And then they got destroyed by Oakland in the next round. But we won't talk about that. But the Toronto Blue Jays actually had a better run differential. And so Toronto has challenged Boston for their crown of 1990 American League East in King Ikeboo's tournament. That's not the only challenge. In 1992, Toronto won the American League East and went on to the pennant and went on to the World Series. That's not good enough for the Milwaukee Brewers. They had a better run differential than Toronto. So they are challenging Toronto in this tournament. And we have a third challenge. That before mentioned 1997, well, the Baltimore Orioles have challenged the New York Yankees. And they say, we have a better run differential, so we challenge you. So that's the 3 play-ins. You can see the seeding here. If you go over here, we'll see you already waiting over here, waiting in eager anticipation, are the number 1 seeds, the 1998 Yankees. They are waiting, and all these teams can beat themselves up as they wait in eager anticipation. So we're going to start off today with the 12th and 13th seeds. The last 2 seeds of this tournament are the Toronto Blue Jays of 1990 and the Boston Red Sox of 1990. And that's what we're playing for today. It's a first game of a 3-game series. The first game will be at Fenway Park. Tomorrow's game will be in the Sky Dome. And the third game, if necessary, will be back here at Fenway Park. let us look at the starting lineups for the Toronto Blue Jays. Leading off and playing shortstop, Tony Fernandez. Batting second, the center fielder, Mookie Wilson. Batting third, the third baseman, Kelly Gruber. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter, the first baseman, Fred McGriff. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Junior Felix. Batting sixth, the DH, John Olerud. Batting seventh, the left fielder, George Bell. Batting eighth, the catcher, Pat Borders. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Nelson Lariano. And the starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays is Dave Stieb. For the Boston Red Sox of 1990. Leading off and playing third base, Wade Boggs. Batting second, the second baseman, Jody Reed. Batting third, the left fielder, Mike Greenwell. Batting fourth, the center fielder, Ellis Burks. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Tom Brunansky. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Dwight Evans. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Carlos Quintana. Batting eighth, the catcher, Tony Pena. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Luis Rivera. And today's starting pitcher with a real record of 21-6 with a 1.93 ERA, one of his greatest seasons ever, Roger Clemens. If the Blue Jays want to challenge the Boston Red Sox, they have to go through Roger Clemens. But if you missed the video, these are all 3-game series. I did that so that each team cannot use the same starting pitcher or cannot just rely on one starting pitcher. They have to rely on 3 starting pitchers to get on to progress in this tournament. So let's get this game underway. All the 1990s will be used with Stratomatic. We will be using different formats for some of the decades. Some of the decades will be using Action PC. Some of the decades will be using Replay Baseball. If, and this is a big if, I've already voted, people are voting, if Inside Pitch ever gets around to doing a 1974 season, we will use for the 70s Inside Pitch for this tournament. So we're going to use a whole bunch of different formats, not just Stratomatic every time. So we get a variety in this tournament. So we're going to start off. This is a beginning of a long journey. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay with me. I hope you follow along because we're going to find out who is the best team of all time. And we're going to, I don't know how many teams are going to be participating. Probably, 300 teams. It's not just, you pull out from, buy a season disc of the 32 top teams and play those. No, we're going all out here. Every pennant winner, every World Series winner, every division winner, and not only that, those who had a better run differential than the division winner. All these teams are all eligible for this tournament. So let's get this one underway. Roger Clemens, and it's my pet peeve here, but does anybody know you can change the colors on this on base and slugging? I can see, I think it's 325 on base and 412 slugging. It's hard to see. Red on green does not go well. It's too bad you can't have white here. Why do we need all these colors? Really? You can have slight differences, but I can read all these other ones really well, but this top one, the most important one, I can't. It's very hard. But anyway, let's start it. Columns 3, and I guess the best column on Roger Clemens' card would be 4. I guess. There's not much there. He is so good. Here's the first roll. It's a 5. And it's going to be up to Luis Rivera right off the bat. And it's going to be a base hit as that roll jumps up to the top. Don't you hate that? And here's the first. It's up the middle, and it's past Rivera into center field. And Tony Fernandez, not much of a base stealer. 60. He can get the jump, but he's going to get thrown out because Tony Pena's arm. Willie Wilson's a B hit and run man and a B sacrifice man. He's not much of a hitter. Let's see, was this 281 on base percentage? So we're going to hit and run right now. No, that's steal. This one's hit and run. So here we go. Hit and run right off the bat. Is it a strikeout? No, he gets a piece of it. So he moves the runner up. It would have been a strikeout because we had the hit and run. Fernandez goes to second. That brings up Kelly Gruber. Kelly Gruber had his best season of his life in 1990. 274 hitter, 31 home runs, 118 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Kelly Gruber. Not much there. Is again up to Luis Rivera. I don't know. Is he holding? Who's holding? So it's right. So it's probably the second baseman that's affected. Rivera is not affected. So ignore these pound symbols. They won't come into effect. Once again, it gets up there. That's really unlucky for Luis Rivera and Roger Clemens as it gets through into left field. And the runners advance. So Kelly Gruber is 80%. Let's see if he can get a decent jump. I might as well try. So he's going to try to steal. And he looks Gruber back to the bag. No, he's not going to go. Here's Freddie McGriff. Freddie McGriff, 300 batting average, 35 home runs, 88 RBIs. Clemens in trouble. He did not anticipate being in trouble. He thought he would be in control because he's that good. But a little bit of unluckiness because of Rivera's range twice. Here's the pitch to Freddie McGriff. It's on the 5 again. And he has a 12 possibility of a base hit. If we roll 12 or less, here's the roll. 17. That doesn't get it done. It's hit. It's going to be foul. They're fooling us. It's just going to be a line out. Here's the next pitch. Line out right to Reed. And he makes a great catch. And that's 2 away. So Clemens might get out of this yet. Here is Junior Felix. 263 hitter. 15 home runs. 65 RBIs. I remember very well Junior Felix. I remember he was one of my favorite Blue Jays that year. I really enjoyed watching him. And then he just kind of went to nowhere after that. So he had one good year. And he has a 4. Everything's on Clemens' card. That's not good for the Blue Jays. He's going to strike out. And that's it. Clemens gets out of the mini jam. So let's see. We have our first look at Dave Stieb, 18-6. He's no slouch either. 18-6, 293. Not as good as Clemens, but not too shabby. And here's Wade Boggs batting 302. 6 home runs, 63 RBIs. Let's see if he can get on base. He got the good column. 9 or less is a base hit. He gets a 2. That's a base hit for Boggs up the middle, over the head of Stieb into the outfield. So Boggs is on. No threat to steal. It should be anyway. I better check. Yes, Boston's managed by the computer. So the AI has Boston. So we have the corners in. Good. Let's swing away and see if they bunt. They are going to do something. They're laying one down. A great sacrifice, and Boggs is now on second with Greenwell. Greenwell, 297 hitter, 14 home runs, 73 RBIs. I mean, if you look at the 1990 Red Sox, their strength was pitching, I think. Boddicker had a great year, 17-8. A little bit iffy after that. Greg Harris is probably the third starter, 13-9. Reardon, not his best. I mean, really, in Stratomatic, it really comes through where he's a R9L. So you put righties up against Reardon if he's in a closing situation. But their hitters wasn't their most powerful year. Burks had 21 home runs. Brunansky, 15. Evans is winding down in his career, 13. Quintana only 7. I mean, they're not a powerful squad that you see typically with Red Sox teams, but Roger Clemens, they went as far as he led them. Here's Greenwell. Everything's on the pitcher's card so far. It's on Bell, and Bell is bad. B for Bell, bad. So 11 or lower is going to be a base hit. Let's see what we get. And he lucks out. He gets a 15. Will he get an error? He gets an error, though. So he doesn't give up a hit, but he drops the ball. And let's see how far Boggs goes. Boggs goes to third. 1 out. Corners. Men on the corners with 1 out for Ellis Burks. Burks, 296, 21 home runs, 89 RBIs. Stieb. I mean, all he did was give up that, 0 to 9 single up the middle, then the bunt, and now the error. So it really is not his fault in my books. Here's the pitch to Burks. It's on his card. It's a pop out to the first baseman. That's good news for Stieb. He trips on the bag, but he makes it while lying on his back. You're going a little bit overboard, aren't you there, Stratomatic? Anyway, here's Brunansky. And Brunansky is not a clutch hitter. He's got the 5. He loses the 5 and the 9 and the 2 to the clutch. So let's see if Stieb can get out of this. 6, that's his bad column. But he rolls a 2-2 and he strikes out Brunansky to end the first inning. It was both pitchers had some trouble, but they both escape without any runs. Here's John Olerud. Olerud is 265, 1448. And again, it's on Clemens' card. It's up high on the G. Ground ball to first base. Quintana makes the play, easily 1 away. Here is George Bell, who made the error. Not much of a hitter. This last year, he'll be with the Blue Jays, and then the Cubs, for some reason, will take him. I don't know why. But at least they got Sammy Sosa out of the deal, because they traded him to the White Sox for Sammy Sosa. Here's Burks. He's a great fielder, a 1-2 fielder. There's no way he's going to make any mistakes, and he makes the play for the second out. And here's Pat Borders, 286 hitter, 1549. And again, it's on Clemens' card, and one has nothing to look forward to but a strikeout. Bottom dropped out of that one, a wicked pitch. So now it's a bottom of second, and here's Stieb. Stieb gets a good column for him. Pop out to first base. Dewey is done. At least this time around. 1 away. Here is Carlos Quintana. 287 hitter, 7 home runs, 67 RBIs. Big Poppy he is not. But he gets a base hit. Past Fernandez. A liner to left. And Bell fields it without an error. Good job, George. And there's a man on first base for Tony Pena. He was once regarded as perhaps the greatest catcher in baseball, but those years are past. Still was a decent catcher, though, when the Red Sox had him. He has a man on. Let's see what the Red Sox do. They get the 4, and they get the big K. Strikeout number 2 for Stieb. And Gene Yawkey is signing autographs. Anyway, here is Luis Rivera. He's already screwed up twice in the field. Let's see if he can do something with the bat. Nope. With 2 out, he lines to Gruber for the out. So we're still scoreless through 2. This could be a nail-biter all the way through. Here's the top of the 3rd for Nelson Liriano. Gets the 1. There's only a couple possibilities there. Didn't get it. It's a fly ball to center field. Ellis Burks going back and makes the play. No problem for him. Here's back to the top of the order, Tony Fernandez. Fernandez singled because of Luis Rivera's fielding the first time up. Gets a 1. That's only one good thing on their card, and that's a 4. That's not it. He strikes out Tony Fernandez. 2 away. Clemens is settling down. He's only thrown 33 pitches. Got the bad column for Mookie Wilson. Mookie Wilson strikes out. And that's it. After 2.5, we're still scoreless. I have a feeling Stieb is going to break before Clemens does. That's just, just because I'm pulling for the Jays. That's what, I'm always thinking negatively. But, we'll see. Got the good column. They got the good column on Stieb a few times. And he has a home run possibility, and he is an N. So, like I said, Stieb is going to break first. If he rolls a 9 or less, it's a 16. It's still a double. It's over the head of Mookie Wilson right to the deepest part of the ballpark. He doesn't have it. It comes out of his glove, and Boggs motors to second. And Boggs is standing on second, and he rules no error on the play. It's a double. So here's Jody Reed. Corners are in. Let's see if he bunts him over to third. No, he doesn't. And it's on Stieb's good column again. And then he gets another hit. This time it's a 4. It's another double. Wade Boggs comes in to score, and the Red Sox have an early 1-0 lead. 1-0 Boston, and with the man on the mound they have, will that be enough? But they're still going. There's nobody out, and Reed's on second base for Mike Greenwell, the heart of the order coming up. And he gets his good column. And he gets a base hit. Oh, don't pretend. We know it's a base hit, Stratomatic. Up the middle. Will Reed score? Yeah, he does. It's 2-0 Boston. And I can hear all the cheering going from New England as they celebrate. They say, we don't want to be challenged by these mere Blue Jays. We're the better team. Well, you're proving it so far. But it's a 3-game series. Here's Ellis Burks. Let's see if he can get his good column. No, what's he doing? Gets away from Borders. It's a wild pitch by Stieb. He's rattled. He's a veteran, but he's pitched very seldomly in the playoffs. And it shows there. Here, now Greenwell's in second base, scoring position for Burks. And he's got his column again. They're hitting their columns today in this inning. And he walks them. So now there's first and second with nobody out. Let's go visit Stieb. Let's say, hey, man, we still got you here. We're still behind you. So I don't know if this has any bearing. We're just trying to settle down Stieb. Anyway, here's Brunansky. Brunansky's 0 for 1. He struck out first time up. And he gets a decent column. And he gets a 1-2. If it's a 1-2, it's a base hit. It is a 15. And it's lined right to Gruber, one away. See, the mound visit helped. Here is Dwight Evans. He popped out last time. Gets a 5. And it's on the catcher Borders. That wild pitch he did not corral does not give me a lot of confidence. It's a G3 and a 14. So he should make the play here, but I think runners will advance. They do. We have 2 men in scoring position for Carlos Quintana. Do we pitch to him or do we pitch to Pena? I don't think it matters. I think they're both about the same. Okay, we'll pitch to Carlos Quintana. Here we go. Here's the pitch. It's on a 1. And he strikes him out to end the inning. But 2-run score for the Red Sox, and they lead it 2-0. 2-run cushion for Clemens at the top of the third. Gruber, McGriff, and Felix. At least it's not on Clemens' card, but there's a few things there. Okay, we have to roll 6 or less. Got 11. That's not 6 or less, and Rivera makes the play, 1 away. I don't know. I don't know how much we can hear this. Can you hear that stuff? I don't have the crowd noise on. I think because I don't have the PA sounds, I don't have the crowd sounds on. It sounds so quiet. Because the place would be rocking right now. They're up 2-0 in the playoffs. Here's Freddie McGriff. That's a decent card or column for him. Not the best, but pretty good. Nobody hits the 2A. So lucky nobody's on base because that would be a double play. But in this case, it's just 1 out. Here's Junior Felix. Struck out first time. And he's going to ground out to the first baseman. And that's the end of the 4th inning for the Jays. They do not answer, as Clemens is very much in control. Here's Stieb. He's given up 2 runs. He's given up 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. He's got to settle down. Tony Pena hits a ball to Tony Fernandez. No problem there. Sure-handed. And there's 1 away. Here's Luis Rivera. It's a ground ball to Lariano. He has a chance to make an error or he get hit. It's going to be a base hit and no error. So it gets through. And Rivera, that's what happened to him twice. And now he's the beneficiary at the bat. So 1 out here, and Wade Boggs is 2 for 2. He doubled last time. And he gets a good column again. This time he walks. 2 men on again, and there's problems again for Stieb. Jody Reed's 1 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Let's see what he does here. He's going to swing away. He has some things there in column 2. He hits the base hit. Up the middle. Wilson has a noodle arm. So we're going to stop the others from advancing, and it's going to be 3-0 Boston. Here's Mike Greenwell. And he hits into a 1-6-3 double play. So that ends the inning, but the Red Sox score another run. And it's 3-0. Here's Olerud. Gotta get the Jays. Gotta get something going here. You said you could put up a fight. You're not putting up a fight so far. And that's an error. So maybe this will start something. As Wade Boggs boots the ball. That's error number 1 for the Red Sox. Here's George Bell. His card is dreadful. Only if we hit column 2 is there anything there. He has a 262 on-base percentage. Maybe we should think about putting someone else in. I don't know. This card is, he's not that bad. I mean, I played a little bit of the 1990s the first month, and I think George Bell hit about $125. And even though, he's nothing to write home about, but he did bat 265 with 21 home runs and 86 RBIs. But I think the card is a little bit low for him because, I played about 6 weeks and he did nothing. Anyway, we won't complain. We'll take it as it is. Hope for the 2 column. Got the 2 column. Now don't hit that 7. Got the 7. Double play ball. Rivera to Reed to Quintana. And there's 2 out here in the 5th. Here's Borders. He got his good column. And he has a base hit, but there's 2 out, nobody on, so it doesn't mean much. It's surprising how often they lead to trouble. Yeah, but look who's on the mound. I don't think so. Here is Lariano. 17. Now, this game likes to screw me, so it's probably 18, 19, or 20. Let's see. 16, almost. We did get the base hit up the middle. I'm sure Borders will stop at second. 2 men on for Tony Fernandez. This is Tony's. He'll be traded after this season with Freddie McGriff for Roberto Alomar and for Joe Carter. And he wasn't, 276. Of course, he's a great fielder. But one of these 17 triples will come in handy right now. Anyway, let's hit that 3 column. 6. That's not the 3 column. Okay, Ellis Burks. He is amazing. He's not going to flub this up. Look at that. He even got the 1, but means nothing. Nope. Flawless center field play by Ellis Burks. He's got to be one of the greatest center fielders in Red Sox history with a 1-2. But the inning's over. After 4.5, Boston 3, Toronto nothing. Stieb has pitched how many? 78 pitches. So he's on the verge of being relieved. Here's a ground ball to Gruber. Picks up, throws it over to McGriff. 1 away. Brings up Brunansky. Brunansky got his good column. He's going to swing and a miss. And a curveball in the dirt. That's strikeout number 4 for Stieb. He got that column again. Dewey, but he missed it. And he's going to be a play for Lariano. It's bouncing up there a lot today. That bouncing at the end. It sits around blue in the middle, and then at the end it bounces up. Second time that's happened to Lariano, and Evans is on first base for Carlos Quintana. He is singled and struck out. And this time Gruber's going to be tested. See that thing bounce up again at the end? No, not this time, but there's errors here galore. Missed them though. So this should end the inning. Got him. So after 5 complete, it's 3-0 Boston. Here's Mookie Wilson. 276 on base chance. Says, especially when you hit column 6. There's not much. It doesn't matter which column you hit on his card. They're all good for Clemens. Strikes out Mookie Wilson. That's strikeout number 5 for Clemens. Here's Kelly Gruber. He's singled and lined out. Got the 5. There's only one good thing on there, and that's roll number 5. Did not get. We got an 8. Fly ball to Greenwell. Greenwell makes the play, and there's 2 down here in the 6th, and Clemens is cruising with 4 hits only allowed. Here's Fred McGriff, 0 for 2. Got his good column. Didn't get the home run, but possible double. And he hits one into the gap. Brunansky going back for it, and it's at the warning track, and he can't reach it. It was Burks, however, and McGriff is at second base. I thought maybe that was Brunansky's play, perhaps. Here's Junior Felix 0 for 2. He has a little bit of clutch rating here on this 2-8 is now a single. Let's see if we can cash him in. Here's the pitch to Junior Felix. Nope, it's on the 6. That's the worst possible column you can hit. And we got strikeout number 6 for Clemens and ends the inning. He is amazing. After 5.5, it's still 3-0. Here's Tony Pena. Stieb is just about on his limit. And we need higher than 14. Got it. Gruber makes the play over to McGriff, 1 away. Got lucky there. And here's Rivera. He's 1 for 2. And he hit his one good thing. And he's got a base hit. He's 2 for 3. He's probably the weakest player on the team, but he's doing pretty well today. And here's Boggs, 2 for 2 with a walk. We're going to check the mound there's a lot of good things in that column. But he hits the worst thing possible. Hits the ball right back to the pitcher, goes to short, over to first, and the double play. So after 6 complete, it's 3-0 Boston. Here's Clemens. He only has 79 pitches. And Olerud is 0 for 2. He reached on an error. And Carlos Quintana will be tested right now. Let's see what happens. Didn't bounce up enough. But he hit the error. So it's a second error of the day for Boston. He drops the little grounder. He drops the ball, and Olerud gets the first. But he's very slow. And it brings up George Bell. Last time he hit into that double play. He got his column. He got his pitch. But hit it right to Rivera for the double play. Let's see what he can do this time. Didn't get his pitch this time. But he hit the one good thing on his column. With a roll 14 or less. But he hit roll a 19. So it's an easy pop out to Greenwell for the first out of the inning. It brings up Borders. And what I know about Borders is he is a double play machine. He's got lots and lots of A's on his card. 72 double play. Oh well. If he hit that 2 column, we got to take a chance. We're down by 3. Hits the 4. Come on. 4, 5, or 6. Hits the 5. Let's see what we can get. 13. That's a base hit to Greenwell. We're not sending him. We're holding the runners. The tying run comes to the plate, but it's in the person of Nelson Lariano. Let's see what we have on the bench. We don't have much on the bench. We have Mullenix. He's probably the best. Ducey's not bad. He gets on base. He's fast. He doesn't hit into double plays. That sounds like a winner to me. So we will bring in Mullenix also. Doesn't hit into double plays. So maybe we should bring in Mullenix. Mullenix will come in. He can't play second base, but he will come in regardless. All right. He's got a lot of good stuff on his card. One of the unique batting stances in all of Blue Jay history, that's for sure. Rance Mullenix. Let's hope we don't get Clemens' column. Get your own. Column 2 would be nice. Uh-oh, what are they doing? They're calling in Rob Murphy. That's it for Clemens. I question that move. You don't relieve Roger Clemens. I know you want to nullify Mullenix. All right, what do we do now? What is that? 325. And this guy, he is an extreme left-hand. So we are going to pull Mullenix. And we're going to bring in who? We got Witten. Witten doesn't hit many double plays. I mean, we got to take the chance now. We're going in for Witten. We can't afford to wait much longer. So he has a 490 on base and 691 slugging. This is our chance right here in the top of the 7th. If we don't do it now, we may never do it. Here's the pitch to Witten. Gets a good column. Oh, but he missed it. Man, that always happens. Hits over to Greenwell, and he makes the play. So let's see if they keep in Murphy. You know you have to bring him in for one batter. Still, let's see, 456 on base. They're pitching to him. It's hit to Bernansky. My mouth was watering with all these 6, 7, 8, 9, but it went up higher to Bernansky. Doesn't have much. He's a good fielder over there. We got the bounce, though. That bounce. It's been bouncing all day. So it's hitting to the gap. Once again, this time Burks isn't going for it. It's Brunansky, and it plays off the fence. Fernandez slides into second base, but it was not necessary. 2-bagger for Toronto, but it's only 1 run. Too bad Borders wasn't so slow. Maybe could have scored, but it's now 3-1. And they will be questioning, is it Joe Morgan? Is Joe Morgan the manager then? In 1990? Let's see. I'm a curious person. I'm sure Al knows. Yeah, of course it's Joe Morgan. I don't know. I'm a Blue Jays fan, not a Sox fan, so I'm not sure. Let's see. This is what I'm talking about here. Just to reiterate what I mean by this challenging. Standings. I want the standings. So I should do American League only. Okay, so in the standings, the Red Sox won by 2 games. However, you look at I told myself I was going to Higher Ground Gaming told me how to pronounce this correctly. So we'll just call it the expected win-loss record. We'll call it expected. I can pronounce expected. The expected win-loss record, 92-70, 7 games ahead of Boston. So that's why they were able to challenge the Red Sox in this series, because their expected win-loss record was 7 games ahead of the Red Sox. So that's why we have this. Oh, I didn't even do what I wanted to do. That was to check who's the manager of the Red Sox. Joe Morgan. Yes, it was. And it wasn't the Cincinnati Red Joe Morgan. It was the other Joe Morgan. Anyway, Wilson is up, and he is not a good clutch hitter. He's down to 251. The 2 and the 3 on column 1 are taken away from him. But should we bring... No, center field is a weakness. If we take him out, we take away our defensive. We have to have some defense. So we'll just hope it gets onto Murphy's card, 5 or 6. It's on a 2. There's nothing there except for a 4. Nope. He chokes in the clutch. Only got 1 run. We'll look back later and we'll say that was our opportunity. Yeah, let's see. I can hear noise now. What pitcher has the lowest career ERA since 1893? Career ERA? You probably have you've played all these games so many times, you know all these answers probably. Career ERA. I'm sure it's not Walter Johnson, but I'll say Walter Johnson. Easy Ed Walsh. What is he? Big Ed Walsh? 1.82 ERA. Did not know it. I'm sure by the time all these games, we might see that question again, and then I'll be impressive. I'll impress somebody. Oh, it's Easy Ed Walsh, of course. Anyway, we got to bring in somebody for... We got to bring a second baseman. We have Witten here. What are we going to do with him? I think we're going to leave Witten in. He will play left field. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Junior Felix. No, he doesn't play left field. So he'll stay there. We'll leave Witten in. This is what I think of George Bell. Okay, so Witten stays in. He's playing left, and I'm putting in Manny Lee in Bell's spot to play second base. And we wasted Mullenix, our best pinch. So that was, the good thing that they did. They took away Rance Mullenix, our best pinch hitter, nullified him. We still got a few guys on the bench, though. We got Ducey, and we got Glenn Allen Hill. He can hit home runs, so we still got some options there. Anyway, here's Stieb. Who thought that Stieb would outlast Clemens the way it's going? But he's probably a little bit tired, but I like to keep my starters in. Anyway, I guess it's the playoffs. You don't have to, but first sign of trouble, he's coming out. How about that? Here's a 2 for 2 for Jody Reed. He's been impressive. And he gets here, Witten won't have to wait very long to get his first chance. Hit right on the button, but Witten got a great jump, and he makes the play for the first out. Here's Greenwell. Greenwell has reached on a single and driven in a run, and he reached on an error and grounded out last time up. Here's the pitch to Greenwell. 5. Okay, let's see. I think this is one of those, if he's tired... Nope, he's still go okay. That's how you can tell. You can. That's the thing. This game keeps you guessing. However, if you hit these K with the ampersands and he strikes him out, he's still okay. He's not fatigued. So Stieb is still good, even though he's pitched 111 pitches. And here's Burks. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And here's a ground ball to Gruber. Gruber makes the play, and he is out. A sparkling glove hand pickup by Kelly Gruber. Attendance today, 33,080. And what's this here? Carl Lewis? What? Okay. Michael Johnson finally broke the record that's been eluding him for years. I guess this really happened on this date in 1990. That Michael Johnson broke the record for 400 meters set by Butch Reynolds in 1988 of 43.29 seconds, I guess. So that's kind of cool when you have some things that happen on that date. That's a nice touch by Stratomatic there. All right, are they going to leave Murphy in to face Gruber? I guess they're looking at the future and seeing McGriff and Olerud coming up, so that's what they're thinking, I guess. And they got a 2-run lead. They're being cocky, that Joe Morgan. Oh, that Joe Morgan, he's cocky. Okay, let's see what Gruber can do. He's going to walk. Wicked breaking ball out of the zone. And we got the tying run at the plate again. And because Murphy's a +2, maybe we can steal here. We'll try it. We only have 11% chance of getting the jump. And he's held. No, we don't want to steal. Okay, here's McGriff. That's why he's in the game, Murphy. He's nullifying McGriff. Still has a 372 on base percentage chance, though. Here's the pitch to... Oh, they're going to stick with... Well, what the... 5. Oh, that's not the one we want. All right. And he's going to strike out McGriff. Nice pitch by Murphy. So Murphy's done pretty well in this situation. Here is Junior Felix. He's got a 404 on base and 644 slugging. Let's see if they keep him in. They are. He's got a column that's not very good. Okay, we have a 14 or less chance. We roll a 7. It's a base hit to left. We are not going to send him. She's staying at second. 2 men on for Olerud. Now, Olerud, he likes facing left-handers. And you can see here, His on base is 503 and his slugging is 522. So your Murphy cannot harm us. Although most of them are walks. Come on, Olerud. We got something going here in the 8th inning. Oh, that's it. That's it. He's about to make the change. Murphy does a good job in bringing Jeff Reardon. Jeff Reardon. Now, we've talked about him already. Yeah, he has nothing on his card versus lefties. And the on base goes down to 253. However, we've got some bullets left in our gun here. I shouldn't use that kind of reference. We have Glenn Allen Hill. And Glenn Allen Hill. Okay, we got Glenn Allen Hill. We got Lee, a switch hitter. This is when the chance we don't want a switch hitter. Because Reardon likes to face switch hitters. Okay, we're going to bring in... I mean, this is the playoffs. We can't sit around forever. We're going to bring in Glenn Allen Hill right here. Our last righty on the bench. He's a +8, too. I'm not going to pinch run for Gruber. Sorry. Double steal here would be sweet, wouldn't it? Let's just tantalize ourselves. I know you're not all Blue Jays fans, so... I'm not going to try. Okay, here's Glenn Allen Hill. So it goes up to... Doesn't really go up much in on base. But the slugging goes up a lot. So let's hope... This column 6. That is pretty nice. Let's see if we can hit the 6. We hit the 4. That's not very nice. It's a fly ball to Burks. And you know what that means. It means an out. He hung the breaking ball. Glenn Allen just got under it a bit, and Burks has no problem. And brings up Manny Lee, and we have no way. Oh, it's ugly. 209 or 229, 176 slugging. What a wasted opportunity. Nice move, Joe Morgan, bring in Reardon. You saw the switch hitters coming up. The only hope is if we hit the 3 column. Got the 5. There's no hope there. Left field, Greenwell. There is some hope. Because Greenwell is a 4. So 11 or less is a base hit of some kind. Let's see if we can hit it. Oh, we didn't. No bounce that time. And Greenwell's going to make the play and end the inning. And all the people in Boston. Oh, phew. That was close. So that's it. Now Stieb is still in the game. He's throwing 115 pitches. Now, okay, so one of the rules I have, King Inkyboo has to have his rules, right? With relievers. 3-game series, 3 games in a row. If you can use any reliever in 2 of the games. Okay, so if I don't use any relievers today... All the relievers are eligible in games 2 and 3. However, will there be a game 3 the way it's going right now? So, yeah. So if I choose to bring in my big guns here, because there's Dwayne Ward, who's awesome, and Tom Hankey. If I use them today and I use them tomorrow, they are ineligible for game 3. So I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen. But, and really, I'm behind, so there's no reason to bring those guys in anyway. But, we're going to stick to Stieb until we know he's tired. And it's to Tony Fernandez. Let's see if he can make the play. No bounce that time. And he makes the play with flying colors. And here is Dewey. Dewey is 1 for 3. Should we look? We'll look with 2 out. Here's Dewey. 6. Oh, that's his bad column. 1 to 10 is a base hit. Hits a 1. So it's a base hit up the middle. And Evans is on for the 2nd time. They're holding him. Okay, now we're going to check. We're going to go visit the mound. Fatigue level 6. All right, so I think that's it for Steve. He's throwing 125 pitches. If this will be the last time he pitches this year unless the Jays come back. And if they do come back, they won't play until next Friday, a week from today. So Steve has all the time in the world to rest. We're getting ahead of ourselves for sure. So who should we bring in? We got Quintana. We got 3 right-handers in a row. So, okay, so the starters are Stottlemyre and Key. Wells is a left-hander. I'm going to bring in Blair. Acker, Cerruti. We'll bring in Willie Blair. He'll face 3 hitters. And then we'll do something else when Boggs gets up. Okay, here we go. Evans on first. Quintana. He has some A's there. Let's hit one of them. Uh-oh, what are they doing? Evans thought he was going to steal with 40% chance. Hits the 5. And he hits the walk. So Quintana walks, and there's 2 men on with 1 out for Tony Pena. Tony Pena, who is 0 for 3. He is due. He is happy not to see Stieb. Hits that walk again. Don't you love it? Bases are now loaded for the red hot Rivera. Oh my. That's a good column to hit, but then you hit the 9 twice. Here we go. It's a 2. There's lots of good things for him. Look at this. It's in a line-out double play because of the max. And we escaped any further runs. We're in the top of the 9th, the last chance for the Jays. We don't have any right-handers on the bench, so we can't exploit Jeff Reardon. We're at Reardon's mercy, and we got switch hitters galore coming up. That's good news for Reardon. Here's our last chance of a right-hander. It's Pat Borders. Come on, let's hit that 6 column. Got it! Watch us hit 10 or 11 or 12. 9. Close. So many other good things here. But walk, I guess, is better than nothing. So he's on first, and he's slow as molasses. Is there anybody faster? We got Rob Ducey. He's faster. He's a 14. Myers is a 9. He's just as slow. And these pitchers. Any fast pitchers? No, they're all 10s. There's no interleague ball. None of them got a chance to hit, so they're all 10s. So, not much difference. Here's Witten. So, yeah, that was Liriano's spot. Oh, look at that. 213 and a 180 slugging. That was a great move, Joe Morgan. Hit the 3, hit the 3. Oh, that's really bad. Let's stay out of the double play, Witten. It's a fly ball to Bernansky. Let's see what we can do here. Bernansky he didn't bump up there or bounce, but he got an RP. Does that mean anything? We'll see. It's a fly ball to Bernansky. What's going to happen? RP. He makes the catch. What's an RP? Isn't that rare play? That's not very rare. I don't know. I always assumed it meant RP, but I guess not. That's not very rare. Just the fly ball to right is not rare. So there's 1 away. Here's Tony Fernandez. Can you do something? Okay, there's a couple good things there. We got it. Hit the single. We got Mr. Molasses on first, so we have to hold him. Oh, it's station to station with borders on the base paths. Here's Mookie Wilson. A waste of an at-bat. Mookie Wilson doesn't pay to bunt. Hit and run doesn't make much sense here. Oh, there's nothing on his card. He is awesome against switch hitters, against left-handers in general. Just got to hit this 1 column. That's our only hope here. Here's the pitch. 3. That's really bad. And he gets a max. 1 max to another. You know what that means? The Red Sox win game 1. Roger Clemens gets the win. Reardon notches the save, and Stieb takes the loss. The hitting star for the Red Sox was Jody Reed. He was 2 for 3. And the Red Sox win game 1. If the Jays want to advance, they have to win the next 2 games. The next game is in Toronto tomorrow night. So here's Stieb. 7 innings, 7 1/3, 10 hits allowed, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. It was all those. Where's the play account? No, those innings there when he was giving up all those doubles. Double, the 3rd inning, double, single, drove in 2 runs. And then the next inning, he had a single, a walk, and another single. And there's were all the runs that the Red Sox would need. Now we can go back to the box score again. Clemens went 6 1/3. He gave up 6 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. No walks and 6 strikeouts. Kind of a questionable move by bringing in Murphy, but it paid off. He did give up a couple hits and a walk, but he didn't give up any runs. So Joe Morgan, there was method in his madness. And then they brought in Reardon. And really, he's effective against the Jays with all those left-handed bats and all those switch hitters. And we used up our couple of right-handed pinch hitters. So we should have saved them. We'll live and learn next time. Anyway, that is our game. The Fenway faithful were treated to an intriguing pitcher's duel, and Clemens won by a score of 3-1. The final line score for the victorious Red Sox: 3 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, and for the defeated Jays, 1 run, 9 hits, and 1 error. That is game 1. The Red Sox lead the series 1-0. This is King Ikeboo signing off. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.